Hello, so I'm at A4 North this evening, also known as Green Lane Farm section. So this section is just on the edge of Chippenham. If you're driving out towards Cown from Chippenham, you go towards Pewsham village, and you'll see like a bank of trees going to the right, and you'll kind of find a Hyundai garage. So the old canal used to run across here. It's actually changed a little bit over the years, which I'll show in a minute. This section runs off up to Stanley Lane, or it might be Studley Lane, by a little car park on the cycle path on the old railway track. Hopefully you can hear me alright over the cars, apologies if you can. So this is actually the old road that we're on now, which runs past the garage. This is a public highway, so you're more than welcome to park here. Just don't block the entrances for the businesses and the residents. So the old bridge for the canal would have been here, which is obviously now just land. That, I believe, has been demolished, and the new road is kind of just across there on a slightly different alignment. And if you look there, you'll see the sign for the Wilts and Berks, the brown one there, and that's the line running off which goes up to Pewsham Locks. I haven't got any permission to fly over that field, so I might just put a drone up and look in that direction to see what you can see. There is water in that section. I don't think there's been any restoration at all on that section, but this to the side here, where it does going down now, has had a fair bit of work over the last few years. They've just got a second section probably 6 months ago, maybe a bit more, which takes you right up to the lane. Then there's no access to the lane at the top here. You can't access from the road. I might drive over there after and just go to where the tunnel portals are. So there's been a bit of interest in what I'm flying. So this is the DJI Mini 3 Pro. Great bit of kit, very light, less than 249 grams. Range is excellent, camera is fantastic, and it's not been out for long. I had a couple of other ones in the past and didn't last, so I use this for work stuff. So I can fly up the side of a building. Those sensors up there stop you from banging into anything. So I'm just going to put it up now and see what you can see just above. So I flew up and just had a quick look down that line going towards Pewsham. You follow in a straight line, you can follow the trees, and it kind of clears and goes over the goes at a slight angle then, and over the fields. And if you look closely, you can see Pewsham Locks up in the sort of the top left there. So you go through a little gap there, which is by the old bridge portal. I'll have a look at that on the way back. There's not really much there though, you can't see anything. So this bit of line is pretty overgrown. You can see just in there where the line would have gone, and the bridge was just there. The A4 is just behind those trees. You normally get a lot of crows nesting up in here. It's quite noisy sometimes when you come down here. So you follow this in and you actually drop down into the canal bed. It's quite overgrown at the moment, being the time of year, lots of rain and sun. But there was a lot of work put in by the trust last year to get this path up, so it's those are chippings down, so it's not so muddy as it was. If you follow the footpath up, this is your first real glimpse of anything canal related. You kind of go across the canal properly. There's no right of way on the other side at this time. The existing towpath would have been. But like I say, this path was made by the trust last year, which makes it much easier to get into. So we're kind of in the fields next to the proposed solar farm, which is over in those fields. It's a massive, I massive complex going in there. Covers a large amount of land, runs right up the side of the canal. So again, you cross back across. It's a bit overgrown. And then you're back onto the old towpath. You can just start to see it now. The line runs between those trees. So this has been cleared quite a lot. It hasn't been dredged, so it's still full of silt and plants and stuff like that. So we're just walking along the towpath now. They're still working out the exact position of the towpath here. Like I say, they've cleared quite large chunks of it, most of the worst growth. You'll start to see it clearing a bit more as we come through here. So I just had a fly up the line. You'll see I went up to the Pudding Brook section, which is the only public access at the moment. You're not supposed to go any further than that. Work parties are working down there. The ground's a bit uneven, so it's not the safest of places to be on your own. I flew back down as well, and I flew right back up to the A4 North. My drone's in the air just behind there somewhere, I don't know if you can see it. And done a little shoot, and you can see where it kinks off to the right, and then kind of bends to the left up towards Stanley and Studley Lane. I'll walk up there now. I'll try and take some footage of lower down in the canal. It's the trees are a bit lower. You can see just past this little bunch of trees I'm with now, most stuff's cleared, and hedges have been laid and stuff like that. So the line, up here could easily be sort of up and running quite soon, dredging and stuff like that. It's not far away. It's left like this for a reason. Anyone that's worked on the work parties knows sort of September, October time is reed pulling season, and that's hard work, really hard work. So until there's a decent water source and there's enough line here to run boats and stuff up it, it'll probably stay as it is. That's just my own knowledge of the situation. I don't have to trust I have other ideas, but I can't see it being in water anytime soon. had to come back up then. There are a few trees on this bit. I just didn't really want to risk it. It's an expensive drone, so killing it on a tree is not my idea of a good evening. My dog barks madly at it. It was chasing it all the way down the line. As soon as it comes down close to him, he's a coward and he runs away. So most of this section is kind of like this. It's just full of reeds. It's got water in, not masses, just a little bit. The end is open. It's drained. It's drained out into Pudding Brook mainly, but water does pool in here still. Coming to the fields over here. If you come a bit later, we're just past the longest day at the moment, so it's quite light still. But you quite often see deer and stuff running around in this field. They go into those bushes there. It's quite nice. It's quite nice in an evening up here. So at the end of this field, you come to this section. There is a bridge across. There is also a sign saying that restoration is in progress. No unauthorised access. It is not a public footpath. That's because it's very much under restoration. You've got Pudding Brook down through here, which I think is going to run under in a culvert. I don't believe it feeds the canal. So right now we're kind of at the height. I think we would be in the bed of the canal actually. There's a lot of brickwork loose here. I imagine was part of the original culvert maybe. But this is very uneven up here, so please don't sort of come up here without permission. There's no access to it from the lane at the end. Part of the lease agreement was that there wouldn't be access there. I know the trust are working on the portal now to see if they can get through to the other side, but that's kind of a future project at the moment. So yeah, here we are. I'll get the drone across. I am allowed to be down here, so I will do some recording down here as well, but please don't come down yourself. So I just have a little walk down here now. So the trust has been working on the hedgerows down here as well as other things. Now they can't just run in here, get the land, cut down every tree and fill it with water. You know, they've got to have a habitat plan in place, which they've done, so they can clear a section, leave a section, clear a section, leave a section, so the wildlife still has somewhere to live and is slowly moved into other areas naturally, and stuff like they're doing here. So this is an old form of hedge laying, and that will grow up over the next couple of years and produce a great hedgerow. I mean, they're going to have 70 miles of hedgerow effectively going up the banks of the towpath in the canal. which will all be restored in time. So there's a bit of a track through here, but largely this is left, and in some ways will be left. As soon as you start taking the trees out, you lose the cover, and you get lots of overgrowth in the canal as well. So the canal bed's in good shape here, and it's actually partly because of the tree cover. You can see just down there, look, this is a better canal, obviously a bit fuller than it would have been. So they are trying to get the full the full towpath here, clearing it, levelling it. This is actually a lot better than it was last time we came down here. There's a lot of work going on down here. They do a couple of work parties a week generally. This is where most of the weekend ones are now. But there has been a lot of clearing because, you know, before, you couldn't even walk through here originally. So once the towpath's clear, it makes it much easier to work on the rest of the line. And this is the reason why they don't want people coming down it. So the first section's looking very flat and they've done a good job on it. But as you get further down and work hasn't quite got from there, you heard me probably step a bit there, it becomes a bit more uneven, and there are plenty of holes in here dug by various animals that live down here. There's been a lot of clearing done again, but they haven't had this long. It's very new to the trust, so it's going to take a few years to get this bit anywhere near. And this is again what I was mentioning. So this is, as canals go, this is very clear. It doesn't take long to get in and dig this out. You know, it's just some plant life and a bit of silt and stuff. You know, a lot of canals are more like this all over, where it's lots of trees growing out of it, trees fallen, and you're not just digging out some weed and some reeds and stuff, you're actually digging out full trees and stuff. There doesn't seem to be a huge amount of that down here. Along here you can really see how the hedgerow's taken shape. So this has all been laid in the past sort of 6 months to a year by the trust. I don't think they're doing it now because we're in nesting season, so they don't want to do too much in a way of disturbing anything. But that will eventually form this whole route and provide a barrier for the farmer on his fields and the canal route. So, and give a nice house for plenty of birds and other species. Another thing you'll see a lot of done all the routes that certainly the MCC branch have done. Lots of bird boxes, bat boxes, and all sorts on the trees. They really are trying to encourage the wildlife in. If you've walked down Pewsham section, you'll see a previous video. All you can hear is birds chirping and wildlife running around, and this should hopefully be another oasis for them soon. It really is about creating a green and blue corridor through the county. Unfortunately, some places don't recognise that so much. It would be nice to see a canal restored through Swindon. Anyone that's spent any time in Swindon, Newtown, over the past few years will know how run down it's become. The canal used to run through the centre of Swindon, past Debenhams and stuff, along past the Halfords, past the county ground. And there was a branch that used to go off to the North Wilts Canal, which joined onto the Cotswold canals. Some of that I'll cover coming up as well. Yeah, it'd be nice to see that running through, bring the town centre up. There's quite a lot of full canal already in the area, with more coming in with the garden developments on the front garden in Swindon near the motorway, and hopefully an M4 crossing coming soon. And this will eventually all day one join up, and hopefully lots of boats on it. I'm actually really impressed, to be honest. I haven't been up here for a couple of months, and the last time I was up here it was really hard going up here. It's a nice seat for the volunteers to sit on. They've made a couple up here, look. A lot of this was impassable or very physical, kind of almost climbing over fallen trees as you were going. But the towpath is pretty good all the way. It's still uneven in places, and it is sloping. You can't see that probably so much on a camera. I did on the first section, I brought the kids up there once, and I had our buggy. We've got free wheel buggies, and that was a struggle because they're slightly tilted, so you're fighting all the time to go up. So I wouldn't suggest coming up here at the moment if you're bringing a buggy, or unfortunately if you're in a wheelchair or anything like that. You see what I mean now. Actually, we're coming to the end now. We need a portal. Lots of digging up here, but very much very flat compared to what it was. You can see here where they filled in a section, look. So old clay on here. So we're right at the end of this section now. Brennan. So here's the canal line, and just up across there is Stanley Lane. I can never remember which one it's called. So the tunnel would have gone through there. They're not 100% sure whether the tunnel's still intact. Some are, some aren't. If you drive over that bit of lane, you'll know that there is a natural hump there. So it might be that it's still in position. I know they're clearing one of the portals on the other side at the moment, just to see if they can see what's happening. There's no access to the road here as part of the lease agreement, so you can't go through. And I think they're hoping if they can get the tunnel in, then they can use it as an access point up to the cycle track, which would be really good. So apologies if the sound is bad on this. I'm just walking back down. I've packed everything up, so I haven't got my mic or anything, but the sun's starting to come out, and this is one of the more clear sections. You know, not too much growth on the other side. It's been cleared, all fairly clear down here, and just reeds in the canal. So I'm back at the A4 end. I just thought I'd come here, so you can kind of see down there is I think that tunnel leads right over to the other side. It's obviously not the old boating tunnel. That's how pretty small boats get through there. But this is where the old portal was. Like I said, the old road was just here at the top rather than further back. But yeah, you can see the line here. Again, this bit's, I'm not really too sure here actually, because it's quite low on the other side and floods quite a lot. So I'm not too sure if like the banks have collapsed over there, or there was a like a waiting wall here or something in a large area to wait for using the tunnel. But yeah, so this was the original route through, and at some point with the restoration there's going to have to be a tunnel under the A4, which is going to be quite a big exercise. I think they're concentrating on some of the bigger projects at the moment, like the M4 tunnel, and then maybe when sections are ready to go here, they might start looking at linking them up. So I've come across to the entrance to the canal cycle path, where it comes back off the main road. There's a little car park here. So the canal is just behind us here. Where I said I couldn't go any further is kind of there in those trees. So the canal line used to run across the back of this car park and then under what was the old branch line, Chippenham to Cowan Railway. I'm going to try and put the drone up and just look back again over where we've been today and see what I can see over. Along the canal route that way was the old, it went across the fields and you had the Stanley aqueduct, which was the aqueduct over the River Marden. It collapsed in, I think it was 1914, and that was the eventual end of the canal. The canal had been in decline for a number of years, and it completely drained with that collapse, which kind of brought the end to the canal. I think they did shore it up and parts of it were used, but obviously it was a dead-end waterway and it didn't go anywhere, so there was no through traffic. Come up the slope onto the old track, go through the gate to the cycle route up there, so that's the old branch line, Chippenham to Cowan. That's one of the old bridge abutments, so it would have been going across here. Canal ran directly below us. Kind of see where it drops off down there. It's very overgrown. This is definitely not in restoration at the moment. And again over here, you can kind of see down here there's a big drop off. that's where the line would have run down through there. That goes to the portal, which is the other side of where we were earlier. I don't think the other side of the bridge is visible anywhere. I've never really looked for it. You can see some old fence posts that are made from old it's a railway track down there. So I ran the drone over over what was the aqueduct as well. I tried to zoom in and have a little look around to see if there's anything. I believe there's still some pillars there, maybe that didn't get completely destroyed. It's completely impossible. So the trees are so grown there that I can't get anywhere near with the drone. You can also see where I flew out that the where the line splits. So left went towards Foxham, and along round to sort of the Peterborough, where the Peterborough Arms is, up through Dauncey Lock, onto Wootton Bassett and Swindon. And the right branch was the branch line to Cown. That just went to Cown, that run along the river. That goes through Hazel Woods, which the Abernease Trees charity now own, and I've replanted up there. And eventually came in under the A4, just in the dip near the bridge that goes across the old railway bridge. It's a cycle track, and eventually came in down this Station Road in Cown, down by the Marden down there. So just off towards Stanley, so to the left of where I said there was originally a wharf up there. I believe some of it's still intact. The farmer, I don't think, wants anyone going across there, which is fair enough, it's his land. So I won't be going up there anytime soon. The canal then ran under the hill as it goes up the hill. I think it's Bowden Lane, Bowden Hill, that's called. And then on and around. So it ran through a farm there, which once upon a time was my wife's great granddad's or something like that. So there's a bit of history on my wife's side with the canal as well. But yeah, eventually that bit might be restored. But it goes off to Foxham then. Foxham's a lovely section that's run by the Wessex Waterways Trust. I actually met one of the guys from that today, Luke, lovely guy. I'm trying to get permission to fly up there, so I might do that section at some point. Then you've got Peterborough Arms. There's a video in my description. I'll put the link in my description. Lovely pub. I was actually there today for lunch, cracking the black pudding, bacon and cheese on. It's made for me. Make this video just to show some points really. So the Pewsham one I posted was very popular. Go down and have a look. Pewsham's lovely. It's a, you know, there's sections in water. You know, you can run a boat down. There isn't, apart from the trust boats, there aren't boats down there. But you know, it's in water. It's full of wildlife. It's had a lot of work done. This next section is in several stages. How Pewsham would have looked a few years back, where it's largely been cleared but not full of water, and then the next section which I've just got, which is showing how it's been cleared. It's a good little view on how much work is involved to do this. Now the trusts are always looking for volunteers, both muddy boots and behind desks. It's an awful lot of work, and the more people that help, the more people that volunteer, the more people that become members and donate money. You know, the quicker this is going to get done. Obviously, with landowners agreeing to lease or sell the line as well, but the line is protected, all 70 miles of it, or at least a route replacement routes, but they won't be able to restore the original line. Just follow the links, they'll be in the description again, and have a look. But I'm hoping in a few years' time we can look back at this video and we can say, wow, look what's been done. They've already done a fantastic job in the sections that have been cleared. Like I said, the towpath's looking brilliant, but it's going to take a couple of years. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed the video. It's a massive boost to our channel when you do so, and helps us to get that content to you as we release new videos. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, where we've got lots of pictures of previous installs, as well as videos coming up from the YouTube channel. You can also, you'll see some pop-ups coming up in a minute. Click on those to subscribe, or there'll be another video from us coming up shortly. Have a great day. Thank you very much.